So, to anybody listening, I would say it's very clear to you when something comes into your life and, knocks you on the head and says, "Hey, this is your thing. This is a painful experience."
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Property and tech, the most powerful vehicles to that exist today in the planet in order to become a multimillionaire, to create wealth. The reason that I'm confident sharing this statement with you is this same podcast, because 1 out of 5 entrepreneurs that we interview, we already interviewed 500 millionaires. They're either property entrepreneurs or tech entrepreneurs, and you, my friend, you have both. So so you are in the right path. So can you share with us, to the listeners, that they are wannabe entrepreneurs, already entrepreneurs trying to get to the first million, and to grow the business, right? um why do you think that tech and property are good vehicles to become wealthy, and what is the good, the bad, or the ugly? So our audience have a perspective, right? Because it doesn't matter what I say here. Then I say, well, property, you have to be careful. Even with the tech, is a lot of risks. We only hear the success story, but it have a huge failing rate. It doesn't matter what I say here in this broadcast. At the end of the day, people are listening, and 1 out of 5 is property, another 1 out of 5 is tech, and the people listen and say, "Well, tech and property is an amazing vehicle to become wealthy," and it's true. But can you open a little bit more the awareness, the good, the bad, and the ugly from tech and property? You've been in both
Yeah,
markets, so.
absolutely. I mean, that's such a big question, right? So we won't be able to unpack all of it, but I'll say from spending a decade in the real estate space and now being full-time in the technology space and really on the forefront of data centers and energy and kind of all of these mega trends that we're all getting a chance to live through, is that you have to find an opportunity that suits your skills and your tendencies, right? You can make money in anything, whether it's property or technology or baking or lawn care, whatever it may be. It has a lot to do with your predisposition. So when I first got into real estate and I was looking at building my net worth through property, that was just because I looked and I saw where is the majority of the world's assets. I mean, where is the majority of the world's value held? And it's held in property. Almost a third of all of the world's wealth, if you're including debt, is in real estate. And so that's a pretty large market to get into, likely to mean that there's a lot of opportunity. It's also not a highly innovative industry. And so there's not a lot of disruption that makes it where someone coming in is at a severe disadvantage because someone comes out with new technology and invalidates a business model. The property space has notoriously been relatively stable and a good place to make money for not decades, but centuries. So great place to start, especially if you don't have an edge in something else. I would say property is very reliable. But to what I mentioned earlier, if you don't have a passion for something, it's very hard to outcompete the person next to you. And after 10 years, I realized that I was not as passionate about forming real estate deals as the person next to me. And so that meant that even though I was successful on paper and making money and everything was going well, that at a certain point, I would be outcompeted by the person who loved waking up and going and closing on single family deals or building commercial buildings or anything of the like. And what really piqued my interest about technology at that time, this was around 2020, was I had been at least a casual observer and always interested in technology and always staying up to date with it, but never felt that I had an edge. So back to what we discussed about knowing your market better than anybody, I didn't feel like I knew technology as a broad space better than anyone around me. But what I realized was getting into the Bitcoin mining space that I had a very, very rough experience investing with a provider. and found a need that was underserved. And it wasn't just
Mm.
underserved to me, it was underserved to the entire market. And I realized, oh, suddenly I'm in the 1% of people who have experience in this space and who know enough to realize that there's an underserved need here. And so, even though I love tech, all growing up, I was always very interested in new technologies and anything that was innovative. I didn't feel like there was something unique that I could bring to the space until the right experience showed me, hey, there is pain in the market here, and this is something that you can innovate on. You have the right experience, you have the knowledge, you have more background in this than almost anybody in the world. Go out and seize the opportunity. So, to anybody listening, I would say it's very clear to you when something comes into your life and knocks you on the head and says, hey, this is your thing, this is a painful experience that not just you but other people are having, that if you go out and solve effectively, you can make money. And it can be a property, it can be in technology, it can really be in anything.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.